It's a great day in SimWorld, everybody. Good morning and welcome to SimWorld today. I'm B. Ron. Alongside me is my co-host Yells. It is Friday, man. Good morning.
Hey man, I'm glad to be here. Let's start this thing off right. I was watching some old school WWE as I fell asleep this Friday morning. B run, can I get a hell yeah?
Hell yeah.
There it is.
Man, I love Stone Cold, that whole era of wrestling. It's so good. It's so good. We can talk about that all day. But we also gotta talk about last night, McDonald's, the All American game. Those kids, man. They brought it. It was such a fun game, man. Such a fun game. I I, I have a lot of thoughts, but uh, I want to hear from you first because I like deferring to you on these things first. So go ahead, take it away, man.
Yeah, man. I'm just gonna say Tyson Simpson is an absolute animal. Explain to me why Tyson Simpson played almost damn near the whole game. I don't know who was out there coaching him, but he played almost all the minutes and he tallied 7 blocks in the game. He was out there contesting shots, all kinds of stuff. His like what he does defensively, it doesn't get enough credit. We see the big body, we see the dunks. I think someone referenced his play style Shaq-esque at one point, and people said that
Yep.
was absurd. And I think he may have made them look a bit foolish because he last season in SimWorld Prep, and every time we've seen him, he gives them a quick little 1-2 drop step, and he's going forward to the rim. So
Yep.
it is very Shaq-esque, but defensively, I think is what I'm seeing. Like, man, he may be a renaissance to guys being a dual threat. Here recently with big man, you see one of three things, right? And really mostly two of them. First one is the big man. We all know that. Oh, look at him showing the versatility where he can shoot the three and step out on the
Yeah.
perimeter. Well,
Yep.
everyone does it now, so it's not so shocking. It's not so uncommon because it's what everyone does. So they're not a big man. They're just tall ass players that are not as good as shooters as Steph Curry. But then you also see the big men that are athletic and they're slashing to the rim on the pick and roll. So are you tall and can jump? We'll just use you in the pick and roll. But that old school mold of a guy that you say, hey, he's gonna post, repost. If you don't give him the ball, he's gonna push some people out of the way, reset himself, post, drop it down to him in the key area, and he's just gonna turn around, give somebody some elbows, some body, try and dunk on him. But also, he's protecting the rim. He is
Yeah.
offense and defense. He is your middle. He is your paint presence in every way, and I think he may be the renaissance of that. I don't know if anybody else will have the physical stature to do what it is he does, but that's what stood out to me. I saw a lot of great players, but my eyes were all on seeing Tyson Simpson.
So there was a lot there for me personally, but I really liked what I saw from obviously guys like Trey Turner because we saw a lot of that throughout the course of his time here in SimWorld Prep, seeing him continue to do what he did pretty well with all the star power on the floor makes me feel like as he continues to grow his play style and grow in other areas of his game, I think he'll be just fine going forward. Because we see a lot of times where kids will play really well at the high school level, but some of them don't quite get there at college, and then same thing goes when they get into the pro level. I feel like Trey Turner and Tyson Simpson and the DJ Wagner, who we saw as well, performed really well in the All American game last night. I think all those kids will transition just fine to the college level, and then once we get there to the pro level as well. There's something about their games where it's like you can see it, and you can feel it in a way almost. Where it's like, yeah, these kids can be good, real good.
Well, B. Ron, I'm a just to say it, and just to wonder who
Hmm.
who in your circles had any doubts or question marks about Trey Turner? Because I know I didn't. In the circles I'm in, I think he's going to be a monster. I think people are fearful, to be quite honest, of what he's going to present on the court. So,
I think
have you heard any of that?
I think that there's some people who might look at Trey at the again, let's use Trey since you brought it up. Trey and say like, "Oh, he's just a shooter. Like that's all he can do, shoot the ball." Personally, I don't know where that's coming from, but I could see where their concern is, but I disagree with it, if that makes sense. You
Yeah.
know, we know Trey excels at shooting the three ball, but that's not all that he can do. We've seen it. But to look at Trey and think that that's all that he is, and if you can key in on that, then you can limit his effectiveness over the course of a game. I think that's foolish. But that's why I said what I said. As long as he continues to grow in the other areas of his game, to make him not so reliant on his 3-point shooting that we know is good,
Be,
then he'll be just fine
I
without it.
don't think he's relying on it. I think he's doing what he does well. I think he's playing his strengths. We've seen him put the ball on the floor. We've seen him do other
No,
things.
we have, yeah, absolutely. I'm not saying we haven't.
There's some people out there that question his defensive ability, but defensively he's a very good defender as well. I've seen him do everything on the court. I've seen him. I see that he has some playmaking in him if he feels the need to do it. But hey, man, if you shoot the rock like that, what are you gonna be doing? You gonna be out there trying to dunk on people, or you gonna be facilitating? Nah, shoot that rock. You saw he had a couple shots in the game last night, man. The net didn't move. The net didn't make a sound because it just went
Yeah.
straight through. My
Yep.
God. I mean, he's dead eye. He's dead eye. Big fan, Trey Turner. Trey Turner and Tyson Simpson absolutely stood out. I do want to say shout out to Jason McGuiz, who was playing in his hometown, apparently. I think in about 17 minutes, he put up 22 points or something like that. He went
Wow.
crazy. Yeah, he was getting it in. He was
Yeah,
getting it in.
man. Like I said, that whole game yesterday really lived up to that All-American mantra there for sure. And going to continue to talk about players and stuff. We have a lot of players, or who you could look at and say, they can make a great coach one day. When they get done playing. I spoke about it yesterday. We were talking about LeBron James, and that to talk about the Lakers. I think that LeBron, because of how he goes about talking to his teammates when they're on the floor and during a game and that kind of stuff, I think that he would make a good coach one day. I don't think he's going to coach ever, but I feel like he would if he decided to do it. So when you're on the floor playing the game, not on the sideline as a coach watching and giving the instructions, when you're on the floor actually playing in the game, what qualities to you stand out that would make a great on the floor coach?
I mean, I think it's a willingness to it's more about your willingness and your understanding of what your role is. For me, it means to me that you have to know where you stand. You have to know what your job is. So your job is to quarterback. Your job is to get the ball to the right players. Your job is to know, hey, I need to go get these buckets.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
Hmm.
but sometimes I need to find the hot hand. Maybe I need to get this guy some confidence. He's missed a couple of shots. Let me see if I can get him a wide open one. It's to lead on defense. It's communicating on the court. An extension of the coach is all the vocal things, the willingness to tell somebody where they're wrong, but also accepting where you had some faults as well. Because the ultimate
Right.
goal is correction, right? If you're above correction, then how do you grow? So the correction, being able to correct your teammates, be able to correct yourself, but doing it in a way that gets the most out of them within 48 minutes pro level, within 32 minutes in SimWorld prep, maximizing what they're going to get done in that time frame. So to me,
Yeah.
that's what I see.
Yeah, going on that willingness part, I think what also comes with that too is, so like me and Davian were talking about it last night, and it said, you don't have to be an elite player to be in that role necessarily as a on the floor coach, but I think you do have to have a understanding of the game on a deep level and be able to teach it to others. So with that willingness to correct also comes with the willingness to teach other players about things they could do better to get into those situations where like you said, you can free yourself up for an open jumper or get to the basket easily and that kind of stuff. If it's going up to your teammate and saying, hey, I saw you do XYZ, maybe next time try ABC to get to that better position. if you can teach other players, um, that helps not only yourself, but also the other people around you, and it the what's the saying? A rising tide lifts all ships or whatever.
Oh my
It's
God!
one of
Wow, come through
it's
with
one
the.
of
Good Lord, that was good.
yeah, it's one of those things for me, and, and I look at myself personally because I was never the best athlete on the floor, on the field, whatever it was, but I could I could teach and I could talk to you about things that were going on, things that I saw in the game to where, maybe I can help you out or maybe I can get you in a position for me to make yourself look good. 'Cause that was my role whenever I played basketball. That was my thing. So I took a lot of pride in myself.
Yeah, it's really sometimes. Kevin Garnett is a good example. Maniac, absolute maniac. Some of the things
Yeah.
I've seen that are coming out that he used to say during games, I'm blown away. We knew he said some crazy stuff, but some of the
Mhm.
stuff that's coming out now, oh my God. But aside from that, where they talk about him communicating defensively, right? Because we're not talking all offense. He had
Right.
everybody in the right spot. He told them where to go, and the team followed suit and had an identity based on the fact that he was coaching on the floor, defense wise. So yeah, you got to be able to be a leader. You got to be able to point some things out. But you got to do it in a way where people don't say, "Hey, this guy's just out here trying to control and
Right, yeah.
manipulate the
Exactly.
situation, make it all about him."
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's not all offense, guys. The crazy thing about that is a lot of times it has to be the point guard, but I don't see point guards anymore. I just see points guards. It's crazy.
Points guards.
Yep.
I
And that's
like
why a
that.
lot
That's
of
good.
teams. That's why a lot of teams struggle because there's not a change of pace. There's not a Chris Paul on the court. I'm not a huge Chris Paul fan. I've
A
come
Chris
to
Paul,
respect
John
him.
Stockton,
Yeah, that
those
says
kind of
okay,
guys.
enough is enough. Hey, you were going crazy. We gonna get you the ball while you're hot. But now you're not. Well, let's stop. Let's slow this thing down, and let's
Yeah.
go to what works. And maybe that's me. Maybe that's this player. Maybe it's the player we never go to offensively, but he has the mismatch, and we're gonna milk that until it makes things easy. So, yeah.
Right. Right. Absolutely, absolutely. So look, we've also seen a lot of players come out of Gulf Coast lockdown, that area. D Woodley comes to mind, obviously, as a one of those great players from that area in the Ground Zero season.
Yeah.
Now there's a lot of turnover happening and that kind of stuff with the team and everything. They got a new head coach, got a lot of new players over there. One of them is Kai Killens, and Kai has come into the league and he's been very active, which we love to see it. To stay active, Kai. We love that. We love that around here. But do you think that with all of that activity that he's done, uh, does that give him the keys to the team in his first season in SimWorld Prep? That's a big role if that's the case. Uh, I I think that's one of those. I think that's one of those where he would have to show that he's able to earn that privilege to earn the privilege to drive, so to speak. What about you? What you think
Well,
on that?
it depends on how the context of what you mean. So what I'm
Mhm.
hearing out of that locker room, I'm pretty close because there's so many Texas guys on that squad, so many out of Houston
Yeah.
too. I saw a comment, I thought it's hysterical. Change them to third coast lockdown instead of Gulf Coast lockdown. Um, that's
Third
the
coast. Explain that
yeah.
to me real quick. I'm curious.
Third coast. That's a little slang term for Houston. You call it third
Oh, okay.
coast.
Okay. Gotcha.
So anyhow,
Gotcha. Yeah.
shout out to, to whoever ran that one. But yeah, so what I'm hearing is he's clearly the vocal leader of the team. I think we've seen that throughout SimWorld Prep. Is he's been he's been a great advocate for the league as a whole. So
Yep.
I think in that regard he is, and so goes Kai Killens. Will go this team. There's not a whole bunch of guys on here that we know a whole lot about what they do offensively. I'm sure there's some guys that are going to bring it. Aiko Kasai, Avery Cooks, Lane O'Neal, who played a little bit for Southeast
Don't
Select
forget
last
about
season.
Deonta Joyce.
I'm not forgetting about Deontay Joyce.
Believe he's the only returning player
Yeah,
on that
so
team.
the only returning player, if he's given any kind of keys offensively, I think he can make some things happen because he's a great offensive player with
Yeah.
his back to the basket, amongst other things. But I'd say Kai Killens is absolutely the vocal leader of that team. Dark horse for me, and I don't think it's such a dark horse for those around the team, is Carson Cutbirth, who is, his size is something that he's going to have to contend with. A little on the smaller side, around 5'10", 5'11", and
Yep.
he can eat a meal. He's going to need a few meals. I think he's sitting at like 140, and there's some big guys in the
Carson,
team that have his
listen,
back.
listen. As a small guy myself, I've heard that a lot.
Hey,
I've heard that a lot. I've
hey.
heard eat a cookie. I'm like,
Eat a
listen,
cookie.
bud.
He's in
I eat.
Texas. Nah, go get a Texas-sized pork chop, man. Go do what you got to do. Go. Anyhow, I
Yeah.
think his game-wise, he's definitely what we just talked about. Leader on the court, a quarterback coach, an extension of the coach. I think that's the role he's going to play. He's an excellent facilitator, from what I've seen. A knockdown shooter, and he's not selfish. He's not looking to get the ball and score the buckets himself. He's looking to get everyone involved. So I think he's going to be the true key to this team. So a combo of him and Kai Killens. Kai Killens being vocal and going to get his own buckets, and Carson Cutbirth dictating what happens on there. I will say this before we get off the subject, or if you have anything else to say on it, but I think those two are more key and more vocal. At times, will be more of a leading approach for this team than even the head coach at times. To be totally honest.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Look, I'm not knocking that at all, man. Also, one other thing I'm not gonna knock is Lakeshore Drive's new venue. They have a new home court this season, and it looks really nice from the picture we saw on Instagram. I haven't had a chance to really talk about it, everything else that was going on, but it's Olympus Coliseum is the name of it, and it looks really nice. Somebody said it reminds them of a Madison Square Garden with the roof and everything, and I was like, I can see it.
Yeah, I
I can
think we
see it, man.
we got the graphic up there. Yeah, that is a nice looking stadium that had been unveiled
Yeah.
there. Excellent stuff. All the Jordan commemorations in there. The ode to Chicago. You got the flag in there. It looks like
Yep.
it kind of feels like a. I mean, I would love you ever. I don't know how many concerts you've been to, but there's one thing to go to like a stadium concert, and then you go to a regular venue concert. But then you go to the ones that are a little more intimate, and they have a much smaller vibe. You go see a main attraction artist at one of those, and it's like, man, you come out of those concerts feeling euphoric in a smaller
Yeah.
environment where it's almost like you're sitting there with them and they're with you. That's what this
Yeah.
stadium has, or this arena or venue or whatever. Can't wait to see what else it's used for. We know these arenas are not, they don't belong to the teams in any way, and
Right. Right.
they're rented by SimWorld Prep. You and the squads themselves, we kind of help facilitate that, but the teams go out and seek venues. But I think that this venue that has not been used for anything else just yet. Is going to be big for LSD. I think it may become the original staple for this squad, and it's a lot prettier than what I think the theme of the team is going to be, because Rosante Vance, and I mean, he's good lord, he's all out in the media saying stuff. They got some guys on this team that are going to be pretty vocal, but then you got an arena that's really pretty.
Hey,
So I
look,
think that's a little funny.
speaking of Rosante Vance, again, look at the Instagram post here. There's a comment from the Rosante Vance. I quote, I had to do what those before me couldn't. That's a crazy jab. That's a
Slugs.
crazy jab, man. And look, I
God.
know that we know Coach now Heartland Zombie coach Brian Lovelace, former Lakeshore Drive coach. I know that he has his feelings about Lakeshore, Rosante Vance, and all that, but I know that he is very happy with the upgrade that for the team and their venue that they're playing at now this coming season and going forward. I know he's happy about that too.
Coach Lovelace had to have something to do. I mean, the seed was
Had to,
planted.
right?
Rosante, you can take the flag and run with it, but the
Yeah.
flagpole, I think, on that one stays with Coach Lovelace. Nice venue. I mean, man, this is just coming. I don't want to. Before we get to this next one, this is just coming across
Yeah.
my phone here. Looks like on TikTok, SimWorld 4K was able to catch this Journey Cray. This kid's out of Australia. Oh my
Oh,
God! Again, apparently a pickup game, and he's yeah. Go check it out in the feed if you haven't seen it. Yeah, it's a alley oop for the ages. Man, these kids are athletic monsters nowadays.
super athletic, man.
Athletic
It's
monsters.
wild.
But anyhow, don't wanna lose track here. Unsigned hype. It's coming up 2 o'clock tomorrow, 2 o'clock
Yep.
Eastern.
Yeah.
Unsigned hype tournament. Last chance for some guys to make their name. I was fortunate to be on Rick Blaze. I think he's going to have me back today. I was happy to be on Blaze's takes. Wow, use that. Yeah, that didn't come out good at all. Yeah, but I was able to be on Blazing Takes, and I think I'm going to be back on today. We talked about it for a second. So, B-Ron, I only want to hear from you on this one, man. Who are you
Okay.
looking
Yeah.
forward to seeing in Unsigned Hype tomorrow?
So there's a lot of players who I'm looking forward to seeing, but one of them, obviously for me, is the number one player in the Northeast region. Y'all know that I'm in that Northeast area. Uh, sorry, JV on deck. New York player, 17 years old, so this probably be his only season in SimWorld Prep, depending on when his birthday is, obviously. But I'm really looking forward to seeing him just because he's listed at 6'7", 195, so he could be a forward, but he might be more on the wing, a wing kind of player. But he is New York's Mr. Basketball. He's a great offensive creator. So like there's him. Uh, there's also looking forward to seeing Jarrell Bocamp, as you call him. You call him else? Yeah, I got it right that time. Yeah, Bocamp. Mr. From Nevada, Mr. Basketball out there. Surprised he's not on a team yet, but I think you had said that on yesterday on Blazing Takes that he wasn't really committed yet to similar prep entirely, so maybe that's partially why. Also, I don't know why we keep forgetting about James Canton, it seems like, but
I don't.
I remember, yeah, I remember, we were really high on him, talking about him crazy a few weeks ago, all this dunks and everything like that, and then it just seemed to kind of quiet down the hype around James Canton, and I feel like that's a little bit of a disservice to him. So hopefully he's able to find a home. Hope all of these kids are really able to find a home somewhere. I think there's 11 roster spots left around the league total. I don't know if that's an actual number. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of roster spots left. So either someone's getting cut to get one of these kids, or or you gotta find a role somewhere on a team that doesn't have has an open spot somewhere. And looking around here real quick, yeah, at the moment it looks like all slots are full besides a couple teams there have a few open spots. So look, we'll see how those slots get filled. And man, Unsigned Hype tomorrow is going to be crazy. Myself and Marsh will be there along with the SimWorld TV crew for that one. So we're looking forward to being there for that, and talking about these kids for y'all. And hopefully these kids will be your future teammates, opponents, rivals, whatever. Look forward to all the same. Look forward to it all the same, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
Looking here, Atlantis. We'll just get those out the way. Atlantis, SimWorld Atlantis, AT Aliens, Beasts of the East, Best Coast
Coast
Ballers, Gotham 5 still on deck here, H-Town Hoopers. Look,
Yeah.
I'm just making sure
Yeah,
we get them all out
H-Town
there.
has 2. Yep.
Oceania,
Yeah, they've got 1 spot left.
Run DMV, Showtime. I think that might be it. We're looking
Run
forward to see
DMV
what you
has
guys
1
do.
open spot. Showtime has 2 open spots left. Yeah, that's it. Yep,
All right,
that's
well.
it, man.
Hey man, it's been great being here with you again. As always, B-Ron.
Always.
It's Friday. Know you're gonna go out and you're gonna wild out. D&D on Saturdays, right?
Yeah, not this Saturday
Not
though.
this
That's
Saturday?
next Saturday. Nope, next Saturday.
Unsigned hype this Saturday.
Unsigned Hype this Saturday. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Well, hope you guys all have a great weekend as well. As always, we're going to cram it down y'all's throat. See the game, be the game, like the videos, write on the videos, comment on the videos. Head on over to SimWorld 4K on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook. Head over there and show your love. We need it. We're trying to grow this experience for everybody.
Also,
Yeah.
Yeah, also share the website as well.
Yeah.
There's a
Hey, check
website
it.
now,
How can
y'all.
I forget that?
The website now,
SimWorldSports.com.
y'all.
It's
Yeah.
gonna bring you back to Discord. We got a lot of growth going on here, and we're looking for even more for where people can see the game, be the game, live out their dreams, and more importantly, man, put your name out there. Help us build your brand. That's the new theme here. So we appreciate you guys. B-Ron. For B-Ron, excuse me. I'm Yels. And y'all have a great weekend, man. We're out of here. Peace.
Yeah. See you Monday.
This has been a presentation of SimWorld